The Rams have Sam Darnold's number, and I don't think the Seattle Seahawks can truly contend for a Super Bowl because of it. After Sam Darnold's 4-pick game and a loss to the Rams, Darnold is now tied for the league lead in turnovers with Sammy's tribal chief Tua turn the ball over. Okay, that's how many times Sam Darnold has turned the ball over this year. And in the last 2 seasons, Sam Darnold has been unbelievable in his last 2 years, a record of 21-4 against teams not named the Rams. And versus the Rams, Darnold is 0-3, including a loss in the playoffs last year as the Vikings quarterback in the wild card round. And it's one thing just to lose, okay? Because you go out there, you can lose and ball out. Like we've seen that happen in many games for quarterbacks over the years. But that's not what Darnold has done, okay? Darnold's numbers in those 3 games, 254 pass yards a game, 3 touchdowns, 66% completion, still solid, 7 yards per attempt is okay, but 5 picks, a fumble, sacked 12 times, and a quarterback rating of 76.4. That's what the Los Angeles Rams defense does to Sam Darnold. He turns right back into the old Sam Darnold. His career and then for the Jets and for the Panthers, he got sacked a lot, was under a lot of pressure, where he made a lot of bad decisions because of it. Sounds a lot like what the Rams have done to him and did to him on Sunday. His career passer rating in those years with the Jets and Panthers was 78.2, almost identical to the rating that I just said he had versus the Rams. He starts seeing ghost again and he panics. Okay, that's what happens when Sam Darnold plays the Rams. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Darnold is a bad quarterback or a bad player, because his body of work the last 2 years suggests he's turned his career around and is a damn good quarterback in the NFL. But this year, I believe Sam Darnold is going to be the biggest reason the Seattle Seahawks don't win the Super Bowl. They have a lot else to like on this team. I've talked about it preseason. I've talked about it through the season a lot. The offensive line still ain't great, but it's better than it was last year. Obviously, we could do an entire episode on Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's been absolutely unbelievable this year. Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, elite 2-3 wide receiver options as well. Solid tight end room as well with Barner and Arroyo. Solid running back room with Walker and Sharp. Really good head coach with Mike McDonald. Really good offensive coordinator in Clint Kubiak. And a top 5-ish defense in the league that's 6th in points, 6th versus the run, 4th in sacks, 7th in third downs, 3rd in opponent's yards per attempt in the pass game, and tied for 4th in opponent's yards per carry in the run game. This is one of the hardest teams to move the football against on defense. And we saw that on Sunday. The Rams offense was shut down by this Seahawks defense, and the Rams offense had been running through everybody before that, and they did absolutely nothing other than take advantage of Sam Darnold's turnovers and the great field position that Sam Darnold provided this Rams offense. And now the Seahawks are in trouble for this division as well, because now the Rams have the tiebreak over them with one more game to play. So it looks like Seattle will potentially have to go on the road the whole postseason. And Seahawks fans and Joe and Sammy, ask yourself this, okay? Can Sam Darnold win 3 road playoff games to take a team to the Super Bowl? Especially when you'll probably have to win a game against the Rams again. I don't think so. Okay. So is Sam Darnold a really good quarterback? Undoubtedly, yes. Sam Darnold has proved that he's a really good quarterback now in the NFL. Okay. Would I sign him to an extension still if I was Seattle? I would. Okay. I absolutely would still sign Sam Darnold to an extension if I was the Seattle Seahawks. However, I think this year, Sam Darnold will be the main reason the Seattle Seahawks are at home come February instead of having a chance to host the Lombardi Trophy. But fellas, what do you think? Is Sam Darnold the reason why the Seahawks aren't going to win a Super Bowl this year? And how do the Rams have Sam Darnold's number so bad right now?
This game is exactly why I had concerns with Seattle as a contender in the first place. It's literally because of Sam Darnold. I thought the defense was great. I thought the weapons look. Jackson Smith-Njigba has been a revelation. He's been the best wide receiver in the league so far this year. After their trade deadline acquisition of Shaheed, I thought, well, this team is ready to compete. But now you have the running back room, the offensive line. Look, the offensive line isn't the best, like you said, Matt, but it still gets the job done. And the defense, because Mike McDonald is just the best, that defense is locked in. Sam Darnold, though. Sam Darnold, 4 interceptions. Sheesh. I mean, I can't speak enough about how, like, there's so many similarities to the Rams and the Seahawks. And yet, the one difference is the one reason why I think the Rams are going to the Super Bowl. And the other reason, Sam Darnold, is the reason why Seattle might not even win a playoff game. That's how destructive Sam Darnold can be. And that makes no sense, but it's the truth. Now, in my opinion, I think the defense that Seattle has this year is better than Minnesota's defense last year. So because I have that set opinion, I think Seattle is good enough to overcome Sam Darnold's mistakes for one playoff game. Potentially. Unfortunately, if you want to go deeper into the playoffs, I don't think Sam Darnold's going to be the guy for you. Now, I don't think he's bad enough for you to not give him an extension. At the same time, Matt, like, what exactly are you looking for, right? You want to win. This is a win now team. And the fact that Sam Darnold is delivering somewhat, and he's leading to great wide receiver seasons from JSN, but then come playoff time, you're scared if he's going to, like, if the lights are too bright or if he's seeing ghosts again, like, that to me is uncomfortable. And that's a very similar reason why the Rams got rid of Jared Goff in the first place, because the lights always get too bright for Jared Goff and Jared Goff always crumbles. So because of that, that's why Minnesota, look, JJ McCarthy isn't that much better, Minnesota, so don't get too excited. But the fact is
he's not better. In fact, he's not better at all.
Yeah, you're right. Minnesota, your QB sucks right now, but the reason why you want him on your team is because you have
wasn't me, man.
Some hope that I hope works out for you guys, but I don't think it will. Anyway, with that being said, that's the reason why Minnesota traded away Sam Darnold in the first place. Like, yeah, he gave us a great offensive season. Yeah, he has great chemistry with Jay Jettas. He has all these things. But in that playoff game, he crumbled. And we got to move forward. So we trade him away. And there you go. Now you're going to have to hope and pray for JJ McCarthy. Good luck, guys. Look, Sam Darnold is quite literally the difference between this team being a bona fide Super Bowl contender and a first round exit. That is heartbreaking for Seattle, because I don't think they've seen wide receiver play this good ever in their franchise's history. So it sucks. But, and I could be forgetting some elite Seattle wide receiver back in the 90s.
Steve Largent, bro.
Steve Martin. There you go. I knew I was forgetting somebody. Damn it.
Steve Largent. Yeah.
Steve Largent. I apologize. In decades, they haven't seen this great wide receiver play. Okay? Decades. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it could all go for nothing is heartbreaking. But with Sam Darnold, it's kind of what you're asking for.
Yeah, to your point, Sammy, I mean, you could have easily, if you're the Vikings, if the Vikings went on a playoff run last year, say they get to the NFC Championship game, it's so much harder to let Sam Darnold walk if you make an NFC Championship game run, even if you have JJ McCarthy there waiting in the wings. But the fact, especially that last regular season game against the Lions, and then that on top of the fact that, he got sacked 9 times and looked terrible in the wildcard game, that allowed them to move on. Maybe it wasn't as easy as we think they moved on. Maybe they deliberated more than we think they did, but it looked like it was pretty easy for them to move on and just transition to JJ McCarthy. So again, I think Sam Darnold is much better than what he showed last week. I think he'll continue to show that he's much better than last week. And Seahawks fans, you could also be like, Sam Darnold threw 4 picks and we had a chance to win that game, a 60-yard field goal to win it. There's an opportunity to win. But again, Sam Darnold, he's shown these little flashes of incompetence over his last 2 seasons, even though he's been great for the majority. But Joe, I got to kick it to you. Joe, you went on a limb and picked this Seattle Seahawks team to go to the Super Bowl a few weeks back. Are you nervous? What's going on with Sam Darnold and these Seahawks?
No, I'm not nervous. You can have a bad game, especially against a really good team and a really good defense. Oh, and on the road, it's allowed. It happens. We've seen multiple great quarterbacks have very bad games. We're not going to sit here and act like Sam Darnold's the first quarterback to throw 4 picks in a game. I'm not concerned. They still have probably one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the league this year. The running back tandem is great. They're trying to keep those guys healthy. They had a chance to win this game. Am I concerned about Sam Darnold's performance? I mean, I've never once put my full trust in Sam Darnold as a quarterback, but I'm going to double down. The Seahawks are still my favorite to go to the Super Bowl. The Seahawks are still my pick. I'm still going to be there with it. And you know what? We're going to find out week 16. The Rams are going to come into Seattle. They're going to see the 12th man there, and we're going to see what happens. And then they finish out with the Panthers and the 49ers. So there's a really good chance here. You said, hey, do I think Sam Darnold, can he go on the road and win in the playoffs? They're 4-1 on the road this year. I think they got a shot. They got a good defense. Granted, those road games are against the Commanders without Jaden Daniels, the Jaguars, the Cardinals, and the Steelers, but...
Okay, all right then.
There you go again. Trying to put the numbers out there with no context.
Hey, well, I came back with the context, all right? But, I'm confident in this team. This is a very good football team. Sam Darnold does occasionally show the reasons why he didn't make it as a Jets franchise quarterback. We're going to sit there and act like last year for the Vikings that he didn't almost get his head ripped off in the end zone with a face mask, right? Like, of one of those sacks that he got. But, No, I think he's a baller. I think he's gonna play, and I think he's got a short memory. I think that those times are behind him, and we're gonna find out, this weekend against the Titans. I think he's gonna come out there and they're gonna drop 40 on the Titans, and it's gonna be same thing as usual.
We ain't finding out shit this weekend against the Titans, Joe. You know that. There is nothing that we're gonna find out.
Okay, what about next
Sam
week
Darnold
against the Vikings? You think we're gonna find anything out then?
Maybe, yeah, revenge game. We could find something out then.
Atlanta. No,
nothing. Okay. Nothing for Atlanta.
Well, how about this back-to-back bold prediction? The Seattle Seahawks will win out from week 15 on against the Colts, against the Rams, against the Panthers, and against the 49ers. We're going to close out on a 4-game heater, win the division. I think they get the 1 seed. And the path to the Super Bowl for the NFC is going through Seattle.
Good Lord.
I mean, it could. I mean, it definitely could go through Seattle. I mean, it certainly could. But I mean, to your point, I'm like I just mentioned, I'm not going to take anything from this Tennessee game. Like, I'm definitely not taking anything from that game. Nothing from the Atlanta game. I want to see that next game against the Rams. That's where I'm going to take something away from. You said he's learning. He's moved past it. We'll find out against the Rams. If he does what he has done in these past few games against the Rams again, then he hasn't learned nothing. And then I can't trust him in the playoffs at all. But if he does learn from it, if he has a good game against this Los Angeles Rams defense, then I can trust him a little bit. But as of now, I am not like you, Joe. I'm a little bit hesitant as far as this Sam Darnold in this Seattle Seahawks offense.
Page out the mat. Page out the mat. Staying on the wagon.
Double down.
He's still learning in year 8. I don't know. I feel like he is who he is at this point. Don't you guys think?
I think who he is a winning quarterback.
You
don't know what that looks like being a Dolphins fan, but I mean, you'll figure it out.
Hey, you see. This is what I'm talking about here, man. The strays. First of all, Sam Darnold has had 1 winning year. Okay, 1 winning year, and for the record, that was last year, and he didn't win a playoff game. Okay, did not win a single one. Okay, this year.
How many playoff games is Tua won?
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like Tua.
That's my point. You're mentioning the Dolphins, but I'm saying that your point is bogus because Sam Darnold is in year 8, and at this point, he is who he is. Like, we're not going to sit here and act like, he still has time to develop. Buddy, it's year 8. Okay, if you're not going to perform in the clutch in year 8, you're not going to perform in year 10. This is not a Geno Smith hero story, okay, guys?
To be fair, Sam Darnold, I don't think any years of development count when you're with the Jets and the Panthers the first 5 years of your career. So he might technically be in year 3 or 4 right now, okay? He might be in year 3 or 4 because Jets and Panthers years don't count, okay? You just throw them out the window.
They just don't count? What is this?
Don't count.
Bryce Young has not played a single year in this league,
He hasn't played yet.
He's not played a single year.
Hasn't played a single year. What? What are we doing here, man?
Hasn't played.
So he's only played versus the Falcons.
Years don't count.
So the same thing with Zach
Cam
Wilson.
Newton never won an MVP.
Yet. So Zach Wilson just hasn't played football yet, is what I'm hearing.
Never played football. Only for
80% of Steve Young's receiving yards don't count.
So Aaron Rodgers, that 1 year, just puffed up in smoke. It just didn't happen. What's going on?
Didn't happen.
Doesn't exist.
You guys are sick. Sam Darnold got a lot to prove. Okay,
Jets and Panthers aren't.
It's not about learning. Okay, it's not about learning at this point. You just got to go out there and do it, bro.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.